Hey guys, how is it going? It's your boy Gazza9919 here. And today what we're going to be doing is changing the belts on a BMW E46. This is for the M54 engine, the M54 B22 to be specific. And we are changing both the AC belt and the drive belt as well. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. We need to remove this little trim here. It's just held in by some of these sort of push clips, like that. I think there's only 3. Should come loose. Yep, there's only 3. Make sure we pop that out so we can keep everything together. So you can either disconnect the connector or the whole thing comes off. Either or. And you've just got another connector down the side. That comes out. So now you need a T25. It's T25 one side and a little stud on the other. Okay, that's gone forever. Now that should be that free. So now that's free, we need to get the viscous fan slackened off, and then we can take it all off at once. Forgot to mention, you will need a tool like this and this. So this stops the water pump by lining up with the bolts, and the other one is just a spanner. And when you take this off, remember, do it as if you're tightening it, because it's a reverse thread. There she goes. Now should be able to take all of that up and off. So there are 2 tensioners. Tensioner for the AC belt is down here. Just here, you just pop the end off, the cap off, and it's a T50 Torx. Turn it in a clockwise motion. That should allow you to slacken the belt off. And the second one, I believe, is this one here. Again, it's just a case of popping a cap off. I probably can't do it with my fingers, but you pop a cap off and it's a T50 again. Tell a lie, it's the one below that actually. That's your tensioner. I'm quite sure it is. And it's a T50. Take our belt off. And as I suspected, because this is one of the belts that I saw, if your belt looks like this, and it's all sliced and diced and even slightly oily and whatnot, and the writing's very faded, then it feels smooth, there's no grip, then you can probably say that you could do with a new belt. With the alternator belt, it's basically the same story. There we go. And just sort of remember the way it goes as well in general before you're taking it off. Okay, so this one is not so bad. Okay, so I didn't really video this part because it'd just be my arms in the way, but that is the first belt on. If you do have a friend to help you, I'd probably advise it, but it is possible on your own. It's just a bit of a struggle. So I found that we need a new tensioner on both belts. We need a new idler pulley, as this is a bit creaky. And also I found, I didn't show it on camera, but there's a slight bit of play in the water pump, so I'll probably need to do that as well. I overhauled a lot of the coolant system, but I did not do the water pump, which I should have probably done while I was in here, but again, the budget dictates, I'm afraid. Now I'm just going to get the AC belt on, which is just around those 2 cogs, and obviously the T50 in, tighten it in a clockwise motion, and then that will slacken the tensioner. Okay, now make sure our cables are plugged back in, and we're just going to give it a quick start and see how everything rotates, make sure nothing's out of the ordinary, and then we can start putting everything back together. It is alright without a viscous fan for a bit. This engine's currently stone cold, so it shouldn't do any damage. So as we can see, everything seems to be okay. Usual case with belts, you're looking for anything that sort of goes like that. Doesn't seem to be anything. Can sort of hear that cog kicking off the idler pulley slightly, or it's the tensioner. It's one of the two. And there's a slight bit of movement in the tensioner, but obviously we know we need a new one. So as long as the belt's straight and true, that's all we're really bothered about. So now we just have the fun job of putting everything back together. My biggest problem is putting the viscous fan and the shrouding back in, because they have to go in at the same time. Oh. You know what? Fair play, that went in first time. I'm not going to moan, I'm taking it. I'm going to say it's just the exact opposite of what you did. So this time, you're moving the nut as if you're loosening it, because it's reverse thread, remember. So now all you have to do obviously is make sure you put that back on once you've got the fan and the shrouding on, put in these 3 little tabs, and you're good to go. You should be alright. One thing I did forget, which I didn't record, is I did forget to put the caps back on the tensioners, so just remember that, because if you forget to put them back on, you can't reach down with the fan there.